much, and good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to Lessons from the Bible. And we want you to know that we appreciate it and hope that the lessons that we have each Lord's Day will be of great benefit to you, and I know that they are to me. Let me invite you to the services of the Lucas Street Church of Christ. Their worship service begins at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, and they are outside at this present time. I don't know when they will be going back into the building, but right now they are worshiping on the outside. You can tune in to 101.9 on your radio as you sit there in the parking lot, and you can listen to the lesson there. And afterward, they'll come out and serve you the Lord's Supper and give you an opportunity to give as well. So that's the Lucas Street at 824 Lucas Street here in Athens. I would love to have you to come and to worship with us at the Swancott Church of Christ. Our worship service begins at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, each Sunday morning. And we also meet on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for a period of Bible study. And we are studying and looking at what the Bible has to say about angels. So if you get an opportunity, please come and be with us. That's the Swancott Church of Christ in the Swancott community. This morning, I want to call your attention to the subject of trusting God. I think that you will agree with me that we live in a world filled with doubt and doubt every day. And I think when we think about this world and all the problems that we are having, it is so good to know that there is someone we can trust. And we can trust the Bible, my friends. You don't have to have any doubt whatsoever whether or not you can trust God, because God can be trusted. I want to tell you a story about a college girl who once talked with her preacher, and this is what she said. I have never trusted anyone in my life. How can I trust the Lord Jesus Christ with my problems? Well, it was the spring of the year. The girl was going home for the spring break, and the preacher asked her how was she traveling. And she said, well, I'm going to fly. Well, he said, do you have a ticket? He asked. She said, no. I have to find a friend who will take time to take me to the airport and for me to get for me to be able to fly. And he went on to ask her about her friend. Could she trust her friend to make sure that she got to the airport? He went on to ask her about did she know the pilot that was flying the plane? And she said no. And the gist of the conversation is this. She was going to trust her friend to get her to the airport. She was going to trust a clerk that she didn't know to make sure that she got a ticket. And she was going to trust a pilot that she didn't know anything about to get her where she wanted to go. And so what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is this. We trust people every day. We put our trust in people, and we put our trust in things every day, whether or not we realize it or not. And so since we do that with people and things in this life, why can't we trust God, the Almighty? And we can trust God. When you put your life your soul and your problems in the hands of the Lord, you put it into the hands of someone who knows and loves you very much. You see, if you want to know more about God and how you can trust God, then spend some time in studying and meditating upon His Word. If you want to know God and how you can trust God, we can find it in His will. I want you to notice what David said on one occasion, and that's found in Psalms chapter 37, verses 3 through 7. David talks about his reason for trusting God. And this is what he says: trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. He says, commit your ways to the Lord. Trust also in Him, and He will do it. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your judgment as the noonday light. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fret because of him who prosper in his way, because of the man who carries out wicked scheme. And so David is told to put his faith and his trust and his confidence in God. And not only to do that, but also to wait patiently on Him. You see, God don't always do things at the moment that we think He ought to do things. We have to be patient. We have to put our trust in God and patiently wait on God to answer our prayers or to do whatever we ask Him to do. And our problem is we just don't have the patience. But we need to cultivate that. Patience is not just something, you just get, but it's something that has to be worked on. And if your patience is not what it should be as far as trusting in God, then why don't you start today to work on being patient and trusting in God? You see, to trust means to rely on the integrity and the power or the ability of someone or something to do what you cannot do, or to do what He says that He will do. We buy products all the time, don't we? Yes, we do. We buy products with a guarantee or a warranty. So we may have the assurance that the product will do what they said that it will do, but we might have to replace it sometime. It might not always do what they has promised us that it will do. Because sometimes you can buy something and it's defaulted. It's no good. You have to take it back and get you a new one. But the point that I'm trying to make here is this. If they tell us that it's good, we'll buy it and we'll take it home. If we can place our trust and confidence in people, believing that something that the person has said or has the ability and integrity to keep his word, then why can't we trust in God? And here's something else that I want us to keep in mind, and that is God expect His people to trust in Him. Did y'all hear me? God expect His people to trust in Him. And it doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter what comes up in life. God expect His people to trust in Him. And God has always been that way. When you read the Old Testament, you see that God has always expected his people to trust in him. And on several occasions, it looked like that God was not going to come through, but he did. God expects us to trust him. And I think about the situation that we have today sometimes. And people see that my time is gone, and I appreciate you for yours. Until next time, we bid you a pleasant good day.
Let us break bread